I mean, the pandemic for me, when we went into this, I had a mindset off the bat that I wanted to come out of this in much better shape than I went into it. So I was trying to think of all of the things that, time didn't allow me to do. And one of the things was I had been putting off writing a book for years. And, I made the decision before coming into the pandemic. God hit the pause button on the world. Everybody is in their homes. There was no excuse anymore for me to say, I'm not going to write this book. So throughout this pandemic, I have literally 2 chapters left. My first book will be done. I got that in the bag. Also, in terms of what I'm doing with the Power Move Maker series, I really thought that the pandemic was going to hurt me because I'm so used to sitting in front of my guests and having these one-on-one conversations with them in front of a live studio audience. But what I noticed was I'm more busier now than even before because now people just have the time and they have the convenience. So setting up these virtual meetings and these virtual interviews and being able to speak to somebody directly from their home, it's allowed me to put so many interviews in the can. So I've actually been extremely busy during this pandemic. Yeah, like I said, I'm 2 chapters down. God willing, I gave myself to the 30th to get it done. So I literally have a couple of days to knock these next 2 chapters out and I'm done. And then because right now I haven't even thought of any marketing. And it's funny because I'm a marketing man, but I haven't thought about anything marketing. I've just been so in the zone of finishing this book. Like I never in my life thought I would, but I can't believe that I did it. The Power Move Maker series, this whole platform that I'm creating, it was birthed through me thinking back to Shawn Prez at 11, 12, 15, 18 years old, when all I wanted to be was successful. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to get out the hood and I wanted to do it the right way. Not selling drugs. I wasn't a good ball player. I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4" in terms of height. I wasn't the greatest ball player. I was never going to the NBA. I couldn't rap, none of that stuff. So I didn't have a lot of role models. I didn't have a lot of people who I can look to my left or look to my right and say, look, she did it or he did it. That means I can do it. That wasn't there for me. So I'm like on literally my 3rd, 4th career now. I had a long-standing career in music, had a long-standing career with my company, Power Moves Inc., marketing and promotion. And when you get to a certain age, you start to realize what life is really about. Life is about giving back. And it's about bringing the next generation up. And when I say the next generation, I'm not just talking about kids. Because there are people right now, they're working a job, they're sitting at their desk, they're in front of a computer, they're in a cubicle, and they're bored to death. They are just dying a freaking slow death. And they're like, I know I can be more in this world. I just need, the right tools, or maybe somebody could say something that can motivate me to say, you know what, this job is cool, but I'm going after my dream. So for me, who I didn't identify with ball players, rappers, that was never gonna be me. Businessmen were gonna be me. And when I got to a certain level of success in my career, I wanted to give back. I wanted to inspire people who look like me, talk like me, who come from the same side of the tracks as me, people who were born poor, people who were born, they did not have a silver spoon in their mouth. It's not like their mother or dad left them a trust fund, but in their head, in their heart, in their soul, they know I can do it. I was put on this earth to do more. And that's why I created the Power Move Maker series, where not only do I speak and I really try to educate, motivate, and inspire, but I also bring to the table these really in-depth interviews with people who came from the same circumstances and they figured it out. They did it the right way. They went from nothing and now they are multi-millionaires, in some cases billionaires, and they want to give back. They want to show people, these are the steps I took and you can take these same steps. You can do it. I'm no more human than you are. You are exactly, you have the same skill set. You have, well, not necessarily the same skill set, but you have the same humanness as me. And if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what the idea was birthed on. You know, first I want to thank 24/7 Hip Hop for having me on your platform. I love the platform. I love what you guys are doing to move the culture forward. And thanks for having me as a guest. For anybody who's looking to find me, I can be reached across all platforms at Power Move Prez. Power, you see right here, Move Prez, Prez, my last name. And for me, we're living in crazy times. I just want us all to continue to love, less hate. And if you went into this quarantine and you came out a little heavier, a little slower, you have not done anything to push yourself forward, then you wasted precious time that God gave you. And you need to look back, take some real self-observation and get busy. You need to say, look, I just spent 3 months eating and putting on weight. I spent 3 months where I could have been taking an online class, where I could have been writing out a business plan, where I could have been doing something that I always said I wanted to do. If you are not in a position to say I'm better off now, today, than I was when this pandemic first started, and I don't care if you're locked up in a cell, I don't care what your situation is, you have done your own self a disservice. So I will just tell you, please take real inventory and evaluation of your own life. Look in the mirror. Don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth. And if you are in a place that you are stagnant today, let this be a message to you. Let this be the thing that, turns that light switch on and say, you know what? If God didn't intend me to hear this message, I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have been on this platform. So if you're hearing it, God intended you to hear it. Get busy living.